Alright guys, I'm just gonna jump on a bandwagon like everybody else and review this awesome wireless Go compact wireless microphone system from Rode. Now, when I saw this system, I was ecstatic. I was like, wow, $200, that's cheap. I've tried microphones like this, microphones that you have to sync the audio with the video, shotgun mics, all sorts of different kind of mics, and this seemed to be the solution, at least for me. This looks like it's primarily for vloggers. For the most part, I really like the overall design, and I like the thought process behind creating something as awesome as this. Now, I'm sure you saw a million videos out there already on the wireless Go, but stay tuned because I actually do tests with wireless interference, and I also test with physical interference, and I paid for this 100% myself. I pre-ordered it like many other people. I don't know if other people got sponsored or not, but this will be my personal opinion. I think it's great, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. But I think a firmware upgrade could solve a lot of the problems that this guy has right now. So let's get to it. Alright, again, so I paid for this wireless Rode system, so this is gonna be my unbiased opinion. The wireless Go system is definitely a game changer, and for only $199.99 or $200, it's an awesome solution, and I really like the thought process behind it. It's a very good system. It seems as though it is in its infancy stages. For the most part, it hasn't matured yet because it's a brand new design, and it's a great thought, and I love it. It's just that there's some issues that I need to get to, which I'll show you in the video. It's something to keep in mind that you already have to have in the back of your head when you're actually using this wireless mic system, because the last thing you want to do is come home only to find out that parts of your audio was cut out, and to the point where your video is pretty much useless. Alright, the box doesn't feel like cheap cardboard, but seriously, I don't really care about the box as much as how it's packaged. It has a sticker on it that seals it, which kind of tells you whether or not if it was previously opened. When you remove the sleeve and you see the box on the inside, it also has a perforated type of seal. So if this is not open, then you're pretty good, but once this is open, then I'm just probably gonna think that somebody had already opened it and that I gotta use system, which is fine as long as it works. You open the box and right away you'll see a quick start guide. Lift up the flap and you'll see some, I guess, pictures. In the box we have two little lightweight devices, a Rode wireless transmitter and receiver. Comes with two USB-C charging cables, a TRS cable, some desiccant, two dead cat windscreens, a safety guide, and a cool little carrying case. The accessories is definitely on point. One thing you want to keep in mind that the cable it does come with is a TRS cable, and if you're gonna film and record audio on, say, a cell phone, what you have to get is a TRRS cable versus a TRS cable, and then that will work on your phone. So you have your adapter to the Thunderbolt, and then you have the TRRS. The way you can tell is you have three of these black lines here, and that goes into your cell phone side, and the TRS has the two black lines. So I'll put a link in the description below for this specific cable in case you want to record to your cell phone. But the cable it comes with is just the TRS cable, and that'll work in your DSLR type cameras. It runs on a 2.4 gigahertz spectrum and has a listed range of 70 meters. That's about 230 feet. That's quite a distance. Now, it does state that it needs to have line of sight. And what that means, and a lot of people don't understand what line of sight is that the device cannot have any physical interference between the transmitter and the receiver. That's what line of sight basically means. And even if it's a piece of clothing, that is considered non-line of sight. But I mean, a piece of cloth should not be able to interfere it that much. But we're gonna go test and see how that works. But if this thing is sticking out of you all over the place, hanging or whatever, just to get line of sight, then I don't think it's gonna be a very productive or a very useful device, to be quite honest with you. So we're gonna test it as if I am using it in a vlogging scenario. So it'll be kind of like under my shirt here, but it shouldn't be too bad because most cloths are not that thick. The battery life is listed as 7 hours. The thickness of the device is about the size of a USB connector, and this is a reference as to size from a United States quarter, if that helps you identify how big this thing is. But it's actually really small. On the transmitter, it has a power button, a built-in microphone, which I like a lot. It's an omnidirectional mic. This means that it'll pick up sound from all around the mic. It has a 3.5mm TRS jack for adding external mics like shotguns, lav mics, etc. On the receiver, there's a screen to view things like dB level, battery levels on both transmitter and receiver, connectivity status, and audio input levels to check if you are clipping, for example. The power button is on top, which is opposite of the transmitter, but really who cares about that? When you power it on, it'll search and automatically pair with the receiver. You have a dB and or pairing button to repair or pair a different receiver. Note that on their website, it does state that you can pair only one transmitter and receiver at one time. It has a 3.5mm jack to connect directly to your camera. It has a USB-C connection for charging and firmware updates, and like the transmitter, a clip to clip into your cold or hot shoe. These also come with dead cats, or in other words, windscreens, which I always use to prevent things like rubbing on your clothes, issues with wind, things like that. The only issues that I have with these dead cats is they fall off really easy. In any case, this kit looks very promising, so I'm really looking forward to going and testing it. So let's head outside. All right guys, so hopefully this mic is actually working. Right now I have the mic right here in my shirt on the inside versus the outside, so you can't really see any lights blinking, and it looks pretty good. It's not obstructive or anything. I guess it really depends on what you wear and how contrasty everything is and whatnot. The end of the line over there down that side is roughly about 70 feet. So right now we are at arm's length right here. So for the most part, we're not going to really need that much distance if you're just, doing regular vlogging. Sometimes if I'm taking photos out in the distance somewhere, and that will make a difference as far as physical interference and distance. But for the most part, I don't really need that, because for the most part I'm always just this distance here, which is arm's length. But for the sake of this review, we're just gonna go down and take a walk. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 and 3. All right, from here we're just going to measure the distance just to give you guys an idea of how far I am currently right now. And we are at now 14.5 feet. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Then I'm going to turn my head. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Then I'm going to turn to the side. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 and 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Okay, and I'm gonna face my back towards. Hopefully you can see me or hear me. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. All right, we are currently at 63.337 feet. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. I'm still getting 2 blue lights, meaning I'm probably still getting a signal if I can focus on there. And if I'm getting a signal, then I'm hoping, or I'm just gonna guess that everything is good still. All right guys, so we have completed the test for the mic that is bare. Now we're gonna put on the dead cat here. So we're just gonna test to see what it sounds like with the dead cat, because quite honestly, distance is not gonna change when you have a dead cat on here. So I don't think that's gonna be such a problem anyway, so it's not gonna be a big deal. I just wanted to show you what it sounded like with the dead cat on. So right now you can hear me talking with, not too much wind at all. And to be quite honest, there's not too much 2.4 gigahertz spectrum type of interference around here, except for things like microwaves and things of that nature. All right guys, so I took a look at the other video, and every time I turned my back, the physical interference of my body seemed to have cut out the signal. So this device also allows you to use a lav mic, and sometimes using the lav mic, because there's a wire that connects to the 3.5mm jack, you'll be able to actually pick up more signal. So what I want to try and do is use the lav mic so that it can be used as a 2.4 gigahertz antenna. Now for RF 2.4 gigahertz, at least from the antenna perspective, the antenna needs to be calculated for the 2.4 gigahertz spectrum, but sometimes if you use the cable in this device, then it could actually assist in RF signal strength and as well as sensitivity. We'll see by testing that. In the previous test that we did, there was absolutely no RF interference because we were kind of like in a residential area, but today we're out here in Waikiki where there's just going to be tons of radio interference. But as you can see here, we have a whole bunch of signals coming up, and what I want to do is select the 2.0 gigahertz range. What we're looking for is obviously signals that are strong and that are in overlapping channels. And because there's so many overlapping channels, I would have to assume that from an RF perspective, that we are getting RF interference between these mics here. So my distance from here to the camera is about an arm's length, but what I want to try and do is test interference from a physical perspective. So if I turn my back like I did in the previous test, that we already know that that's going to cut out. I want to see if the Lav Mic cable is going to make any difference, at least assist in better RF signal. All right guys, so right now I have the Lav Mic here with a dead cat right inside of my jacket here. There's a cable that runs alongside down here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's just clipped onto my pants pocket here. So let's take a look. So testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. And this is approximately about 10 feet. I'm gonna measure now. You guys can't see this, but it does say 10.7 feet. So I'm gonna turn and see if the signal cuts out. Testing 1 2 3, 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 testing 1 2 3. So I'm still line of sight, and I'm going to measure the distance here. Hopefully you guys can still hear me with the RF interference, but I'm at now 38.9 feet. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 and 3. So I'm going to head down to see how far I can go. So that's about it. I'm going to start walking towards the camera, and I'm going to keep on talking to make sure we have the appropriate signal necessary. And if you can still hear me, pretty much, if you think about it, I'm not going to be 100 and something feet away from the camera for the most part. In very rare instances would I actually need to do that. Now my voice may be, or the sound quality may have changed now that I have a dead cat, and also because I have a lav mic instead of using the built-in mic that's in the transmitter. That's about it. I am back to an arm's length. Let's get back to the office. Alright guys, so we just came back from being outside, and I took a look at some of those videos that I had recorded, and I noticed that it seemed to be a lot better, or at least a little better, using an external lav mic. Now we are using the Wireless Go now for the sound of this video right here, and this external wire connected to the Wireless Go seemed to have helped, especially in an area with much higher radio frequency interference. So we're going to test that theory right now by blocking using physical interference to block the actual transmitter, and then we're going to test it again with the same kind of quote-unquote blockage with using an external mic. So right here we have a drainer. I'm not sure if this is going to block out the signal or not, but we're going to just give it a shot. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, and I just want to make sure that this thing actually cut out. So hopefully you didn't hear me, or at least you heard some cutouts. I'm actually an arm's length away from the camera, so it would make sense that it may be strong enough to overcome that kind of interference, but that was a bit excessive. All right, now we have the external lav mic hooked up. I'm going to put the lav mic over here all the way to the side of my shoulder, away from the rinky-dinky Faraday cage. Let's try and test it again. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, 1 2 3. All right, hopefully that was a little better. Having an external lav mic or any kind of external mic away from this receiver, that this actually acts as some sort of antenna to at least help, not necessarily completely resolve the issue. If this wire actually acted as an antenna, then I would highly recommend actually using an external lav mic. All right, now that that test is done, the solution, at least a quick one, and to keeping the dead cat mounted on here at least a little better than what it is using something like rubber cement. Rubber cement is a type of glue that dries rubbery, so it won't or should not damage the device. So all you want to do is just put a tiny bit on the actual dead cat, and again, just use this at your own risk. This is what I would do, but because it's a rubber type of solution, it should easily come off, but it should actually hold a lot better than nothing at all. So what you want to do is put glue on the areas that these clips are not, so the opposite sides of the clip, so one on the top and then one on the bottom. You don't want to put it on the clips itself in case the glue clogs the holes, and then when you clip it on, it should hold in place a lot better, and so it doesn't fall off. If this wire helps with the cutout, then I would suggest using the dead cat and an external lav mic anyway. So this dead cat would be irrelevant at that point. Let's head back to the other previous recorded video. So for the most part, yes, I do like it. Does it have its problems? Yes, there's the audio cutout. The frequency is not as strong, and the fur ball, the dead cat, falls off very easy. There's easy solutions to all these problems, but I still think it's a great system, and I still will most definitely use it. So, you know, it's one of those things. Yeah, there's issues, but I'm still gonna use it. Is it perfect? No, but it's the first revision. I have a strong, good feeling that this is such a great system. So I think that there is a market for it, and I think that Rode is gonna continue down that road and make these things even more awesome than it is today. So that's it for this video. I hope you like it. If you did, please hit that like button. If you like photography related videos, please hit that subscribe button. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one.